My worst ever summer job is before I got into TV, I worked for my granddad. Bless him, he was a lovely, gorgeous man, in his florist. Working for a family member is always quite difficult because they can get away with shouting at you quite a lot. And I was always sweeping wrong or cleaning the eggy smelling pots wrong. And all I wanted to do is be like my auntie and sort of be able to make the flower arrangements. Never got to that level because I didn't get sacked, but it was a mutual agreement that I'd leave. See, that was my worst summer job, and I think it lasted about 2 months.
I mean, I've worked all my life, you know what I mean? So jobs weren't really for summer. There was what I did. But one time I got like this free standby ticket to go to Norway. I had no aspirations to go into Norway, but it was a free ticket, so I thought I'll go to Norway.
I used to work in this factory shop where we made homework diaries, so we'd make the front of a homework diary and the back of a homework diary and then put the diary bit in the middle and then we'd close it and pass it on. All day, every day, just that. That was it, all day, just passing this diary on. You had to stand in a box so that the paint wouldn't come off the floor. Why would I've not got like acid feet? And talking was banned. And music was banned. It was awful. You just had to just stand there all day, every day, all summer. Bleak.
But I met this dude who was out there who was selling these paintings. They were like some like rubbish printed thing, and what he did tell me, he said, never buy anything from somebody who knocks at your door because you don't want it. If you wanted it, you'd go to the shop and buy it. So he would do one side of the road and I'd do the other side of the road, and we'd knock on these doors and I would say, like, I'm the printer, the other guy is the artist, and we just sell them.
My worst ever summer jobs, okay, there's 2. The first one was pizza delivery boy, but I did that during term time at school, so it's not really summer. But the worst temporary summer job I had was when this factory needed about 30 just people to file bits of plastic with their bare hands because they had a job lot of something. So I was there for 3 days inhaling plastic fumes and dust whilst filing these bits of, I don't know what they were, but I did that for 3 days and got paid £100. I don't know how that happened.
And he told me never cross the road. Never cross the road. So I was knocking these houses and I was making some dough. I couldn't believe it. And I was thinking, like, yeah, Norway's pretty cool. Take these people's money for this fake art, claiming that, I printed it. Went to this one house. They said, like, yo, my friends would love to these as well. I'm going to take you to my friend's house and they'll buy a load.
I remember one summer having a really, really, really hefty paper round, and I just remember it being hot and disgusting, and I got about 50p at the end of it, and I thought I was being completely robbed. Apart from that, I've not really had a bad summer job.
My worst ever summer job was, one or two. I was working in a stock room in a shoe shop in a sweaty, heated summer, or it was when I was doing door-to-door insurance selling. That was grim.
I thought, great, as we crossed the road, he'd already been to that house. So I knocked the door, I said, like, yo, here to sell you this joint. Oh, you must be the artist. No, he's the printer. No, the printer's just been here. We bought these from him.
My worst ever summer job, I used to swim quite a lot, so I always used to get jobs as lifeguard. And it's really boring if you're indoors. I'm sure it's nice if you're in a kind of a Lido or Lido and it's outside. But I just remember doing this one job, and time goes so slowly when you're a lifeguard, and there were these kids messing around, and one of them pretended to be having a problem, and I went over to save this poor child, and then his mates just pushed me in the water. It was vintage.
My worst ever summer job was for my fairly famous TV chef uncle in his restaurant in Cornwall. I think he'd allow me to mention his name, given we subsequently get on a lot better. My uncle Rick Stein. I worked there aged 14, and I think that chimney sweeps in the Victorian era were treated better than he treated me then. I wouldn't say he treats all his staff that way, but I was kind of flesh and blood, and the one thing about flesh and blood is you can scream at one another and still kiss and make up later.